Yueru's blue-colored Do-Chi and the Gray Guardian's Silver Thunder type, Do-Chi viciously smashed together. But the strange thing was that every time the two fought each other, they were almost evenly matched. Yueru and Lu Yin were constantly circling with the Gray Guardian. Xiao Yin sat down with his legs crossed. His body became crazy at the moment, and even the space around his body was shattered. Xiao Yin also knew that he was at the peak of the early stage of the three-star fighting emperor, and he was only one step away from the middle stage of the three-star fighting emperor. The vindictive energy in the body is already full, and the next step is the key to breakthrough. On the other hand, look at the other 5 battles. In the first place, Wang Zhong was fighting against a guardian. I saw that the black cloth in Wang Zhong's eyes had disappeared without a trace. Wang Zhong also knows that the strength of this guardian must be more than the level of the peak of the 3-star Do-Di. So he will do his best as soon as he makes a move. The black cloth on his forehead was slowly removed by Wang Zhong, and strong breaths emanated from Wang Zhong's body, which was also the peak of the 3-star Do-Di. The black sword behind is also exuding terrifying power at this moment. Wang Zhong has always been called a sword madman. In the past, when he competed with others, he killed many contestants because he did not control his sword properly. In other words, this Wang Zhong, known as the sword maniac, will get out of control, and the black cloth at the eyes is the core that controls Wang Zhong's loss of control. Now that Wang Zhong has taken off the black cloth, it means that Wang Zhong has entered a point where he may lose control at any time. Sword King City King Zhong, please enlighten me, Wang Zhong said to the guardian in front of him. The guardian in front of Wang Zhong also frowned at Wang Zhong. Obviously, the guardian felt a terrifying power from Wang Zhong's strong eyes and the giant sword in his hand, and a war was about to break out. The second place, Berserker Sun Ming. Berserker Sun Ming is called a berserker for a reason. His body has the bloodline of a berserker since he was a child, and he can use his body to become mad to instantly increase his strength to a whole new level. As soon as Sun Ming came up, he began to go crazy. His clothes exploded, revealing his burly figure, and some blue veins burst out in varying degrees on his muscles, and his strength also burst out at this moment. The pinnacle of Samsung Do-Di. Sun Ming also did not wait for the guardian to do anything, and directly used his body as the best means of attack to attack the guardian in front of him. The most powerful thing of a berserker is the physical strength, which is a symbol of the madness of the power to the limit. The third place is Xinshu and Wu Huan. The living dead looked gloomily at a guardian in front of him. Wu Huan was the main attacker, and he was the assistant. However, after the fierce battle between Wu Huan and the guardian, the fight was inextricable. However, the living dead don't dare to inflate too much, because the guardians they are facing are full of fire attribute aura, and they are suppressed to varying degrees. For the living dead, the fire attribute masculine aura is simply his nemesis. Damn! The living dead were also suppressed to death by the guardian in front of them, and their whole body strength was limited by 9 out of 10. I attacked the front, you attack the rear. Wu Huan also saw the situation of the living dead and couldn't help but say. The fourth place, Feng Yi and Yao Mei. This is the most interesting part of the whole battle. The team composed of Feng Yi's sophistication and enchanting makes people seem to have a different taste, but the guardian is not a vegetarian and will not show mercy to beauties. The demon charm is constantly roaming and consuming the guardian with her body and fighting skills. Feng Yi exudes a terrifying fighting spirit all over her body, and uses her soul attack to assist the demon charm. Obviously, the battle here will not end in a short period of time, because the two women do not have a particularly tyrannical means of attack, but fighting to consume and waiting for support is also a method. The fifth place was Xiao Yin and the others. The sixth place is composed of other powerhouses in the main hall. Although there are hundreds of people besieging a guardian, it can be vaguely seen that this guardian is the most powerful of the six guardians. Even if he has just woken up and his strength has not recovered, the guardian in front of him is the most powerful one. The strength is also a half-step 4-star Do D. You must know that the peak of the 3-star Do D and the 4-star Do D are not at the same level. If it is said that the peak of the 3-star Do D is the strongest in capturing the fortunes, then the half-step 4-star Do D can handle 10 peaks of the 3-star Do D. Although there are hundreds of people fighting in this last place, some of them are inevitably talented and powerful, but obviously no one is going to provoke them. They're just constantly dealing with the guardian. Boom, boom, boom. Yueru's whole body is covered in cyan vindictive aura, and she is constantly dealing with the gray guardian. The strange thing is that since the appearance of Yueru's cyan vindictive aura, the silver spear of the gray guardian seems to have disappeared. But Yueru was also defeated by the gray guardian's attack. Obviously, Yueru's midterm strength of the 3-star Do Emperor is still a little difficult for this gray guardian to be at the peak of the 3-star Do Emperor. Luin is obviously also very surprised by the strength of this gray guardian. You must know that even the powerhouse of the peak of the 3-star Do D has been frozen by her own ice fighting chi. How could it be impossible for the gray guardian to delay for even a second? In fact, Lu Yin's strength is also extremely tyrannical. When Xiao Yin and the gray guardian attacked, the ice-cold fighting chi continued to infiltrate the guardian's feet silently and spared the gray guardian to fight. The experience is extremely rich, and it was not discovered in the first time. When he found out that the ice-cold fighting chi was about to freeze him, the thunder-tired fighting chi in his whole body exploded instantly, and he used the explosive power of the thunder to break free. Puff, puff! Lu Yin touched the body of the icy blue bird with both hands, and then the icy blue bird also swelled up in an instant. Its body became more than several times larger, and its breath also swelled at this moment, and it climbed impressively to a level comparable to that of a 3-star Do D. Peak. At the same time, Lu Yin's aura seemed to be a little sluggish, and her face was pale. The ice blue bird exuded cold air all over, and the space around it couldn't help but freeze. Xiao, come on. Attack with this big sister. Lu Yin also dragged her weak body. Lu Yin is the proud son of heaven in the city of 10,000 beasts. They practiced in the city of 10,000 beasts by borrowing the power of monsters from themselves, or lending their power to monsters, so as to exude powerful power. Obviously, what Lu Yin did at this time was to lend all her strength to Xiao, so that Xiao had enough strength to match the Guardian, because she knew that even if her strength was rising at this time, she couldn't help the Guardian. On the contrary, if you lend your power to Xiao, you may be able to delay for some time with Xiao's chill and attack. And Lu Yin is not worried that Xiao will fight back after absorbing her own power, because she has lived with Xiao since she was a child. Damn, this Guardian's strength is so strong. Yueru also found some clues when she was constantly dealing with the Gray Guardian. The Guardian seemed to be weak every time he attacked, and he did not attack his vital points, and there was a crucial problem. It seems that the strength of this Guardian is more and more brave. It stands to reason that a normal person will become weaker and weaker as the battle time gets longer and longer. Why is this Guardian like this? Before Yueru had time to think about it, a new round of attacks from the Gray Guardian came whistling again. Breakthrough! When Yueru was dealing with the Gray Guardian, Lu Yin was so weak and tired that she was on the ground. There was a hint of pity in the eyes of a huge ice beast, as if she was distressed for her master. And then she spread her wings to face the gray guardian attacked and left in the field. Pieces of ice blue feathers fell off the wings of the ice giant beast and whizzed away at the gray guardian. Yueru and the gray guardian face each other with their palms. The terrifying ice blue feather also arrived at this moment. Boom, boom, boom. The gray guardian didn't pay much attention to the attack of this ice giant beast, and then a silver light shield appeared on the surface of his body, covering his entire body. According to what the gray guardian thought, the icy blue feathers attacked his lightning shield and stopped, and then the energies shattered each other's bottom line. But a strange scene came out. The ice blue feathers became very sharp as the speed increased, and the feathers carried an amazing cold air. The feathers actually passed through the light shield of the Gray Guardian and attacked the Gray Guardian directly. The ice blue feather attacked through the light shield and landed on the Gray Guardian. Immediately, small ice cubes appeared on the Guardian's body where the feathers attacked. Bang, bang, bang. The Gray Guardian obviously did not expect that the feather attack of this icy giant beast would be so powerful that it could break through his own defense, and his aura instantly increased, which feathers were as sharp as bows and arrows, and the feathers attached to him were shattered. Puff, puff. The ice cubes condensed by the icy blue feathers were shattered by the Gray Guardian. Even the Gray Guardians didn't notice that these shattered ice blue feathers turned into tiny pieces and fell into this wide hall. With the delay of time, even breathing became difficult, and the grudges were too strong. There has been some slowness in both cohesion and use. This little beast is really not easy. The attentive Yueru was also shocked by the Gray Guardian in an instant. She took a few steps back to stabilize her figure, and immediately discovered the power of Lu Yin's little beast. Later, Yueru also turned her head and glanced at Xiao Yin, and found that the latter was at a critical point at this time. Immediately, the mysterious rune on her forehead also slowly lit up. This is the only way now. Xiao Yin, thank you for helping me so much. And now if you break through, leave it to me. It's time for me to protect you after taking care of you for so long. Anyway, I'll accept the inheritance when I go back this time. Yueru also looked at Xiao Yin and smiled. And then Mei Mu glanced around and found that a monstrous situation broke out in every battle circle. They also knew that as time went by, these things in front of them, the strength of the Guardians is almost restored. Once the strength of these Guardians is restored, they will be the powerhouses of the 4-star Fighting Emperor level. At that time, the Horror will be reluctant to bear this great fortune and only withdraw. After all, the 4-star Do Emperor was a world away from their 3-star Do Emperor. Yueru seemed to be muttering something, and the mysterious rune on her forehead also lit up at this moment, and Yueru showed her hands open. Circles of pure white as jade energy emanated from Yueru's forehead, and the breath made people feel as pure as the moon in the sky, full of ancient flavors. In the field, the Gray Guardian and the ice blue giant beast were constantly attacking, and they were suddenly attracted by Yueru's shocking aura. The light of the bright moon? How can it be? The Gray Guardian's pupils shrank, and then he looked at Yueru with a bit of fear in his mouth. She also recognized what was on Yueru's forehead at a glance. What it is? At this time, Lu Yin was also weakly looking at Yueru, who was getting stronger and stronger. She was puzzled why Yueru contained such terrifying and powerful power in her body. The light of the bright moon? The Golden Dragon King looked at Yueru and said in surprise, "Master, what is the light of the bright moon?" Although Xiao Yin was in the process of breaking through, he was also curious. There are too many puzzles in this Do Di continent that troubled Xiao Yin, and he could only seek a solution from his master, the Golden Dragon King. The light of the bright moon. It is rumored that it is a power left by Fairy Moon in the world. After possessing the bright moon, you can pass some inheritance. And if you have the opportunity, you can get the true inheritance of Fairy Moon. However, this phenomenon is very rare. It is not these things that can really get Fairy Moon's inheritance. The Golden Dragon King said indifferently, "The Fairy Moon?" Xiao was also surprised that anyone in this world who can be compared with immortals is a strong one, fighting immortals. The real peak powerhouse of the important party. Surprised but still surprised, Xiao is still quiet. He can't be too ambitious. Let's break through to the middle stage of the 3-star Do Di to solve the problem in front of him. Xiao, you're a good boy. First you are the angel family, and then the bright moon fairy. It seems that all this proves something. The Golden Dragon King said in a voice that only he could hear. Yueru's body continued to emit some pure white light from her forehead, and the power contained in that pure white light was pure and flawless, just like a newborn baby. But the guardians present knew that the terrifying power contained in this seemingly pure white light, even if they recovered to their peak, would not be enough to fight. When the moonlight wrapped the whole Yueru in circles, Yueru's breath changed drastically. Originally, Yueru, who was somewhat elegant and silent, exuded a gentle aura. Since that light possessed her body, she exuded a cold and pure power. Bei's lips slightly opened, and his whole body was surrounded by bright, moonlight-like rays of light, like an immortal descending from the earth, not eating fireworks from the world. "One move," she said something plain, and then she saw Yueru turned into a moon and went straight through the Grey Guardian. Puff, puff. Damn. The Grey Guardian also vomited blood at this moment, obviously seriously injured, and then turned into 3 rays of light and injected into Xiao, Yueru, and Luyin. The 3 of them also knew that this was an immortal-level fighting skill, but they didn't have time to understand it carefully. At this moment, the people in the hall also know that the battle here is also decided at this moment. Then Yueru was so weak that she was about to fall to the ground. "Leave the rest to me." A gentle voice appeared, followed by a figure supporting Yueru, who was about to fall. Obviously, after using the power that does not belong to oneself, it will bring no small sequelae. Yueru also saw that the young man in front of him was carrying a heavy ruler and was surrounded by flames.